Hello, my name is Swiss Bianco. In this video we will have a look at a Winchester 1200. Currently in USA we have a bit of retro style craziness going on, and for me, rather than buy a new made retro style gun, I would rather have an older one from back then. In this case it is a Winchester 1200. We have manufacturing date 1981. The Winchester 1200 was made from 1964 to 2006 as Winchester USA got bankruptcy and closed the door. The Winchester company that is nowadays in business is a different company, and the pump action models that they manufactures are not made in USA but Turkey, so it's a bit a different kind of bag. So back then Winchester had the M12. We know that, the first generation pump action style of guns with the exposed hammer, the slam fire trigger, no disconnector in the trigger. We had just one sliding bar between the action and the forend, and they got a bit outdated and too expensive to manufacture, so Winchester did look around for what to do, and back then Armalite did show the R17, rotating bolt shotgun like we have it here. The R17 unfortunately did never catch on for whatever reason, so it was not made in a quantity and is really rare, but Winchester saw it and they did select that style of bolt instead of a regular tilting action lock. So that, with some other design changes, that we had a receiver in aluminium, no exposed hammer anymore, the non-slam fire trigger, two rails through pump bars on the design, and the trigger assembly was also a bit unique, that we have all the parts in the trigger assembly and not on the inside of the receiver like with other designs, so it was a bit easier to assemble. Anyway, they started making those, and they were pretty good success. About 2.5 million shotguns of the M1200 and the Winchester 1300, the later model, were made, and until the company got bankruptcy and they close. Now I found this on a private sale used, and we're gonna have a look how the condition is on this one. So this is a model 1200 in 3-inch Magnum, Defender model. So at a certain time there was a bit of mix of parts of the 1200 to the 1300. The 1200 is usually only for 2 3/4 shells, but you can find also 3-inch models. It's clearly marked on the barrel, so there you see exactly what it is, what model it is, and also what caliber, what ammunition you can fire. But many of those were only 2 3/4 shells. That was back then like that, and the second generation of pump action shotguns. So as we look, the condition is pretty good. It was completely clean, not shot much at all, not even loaded up and storaged. Somebody had that, and at a certain point of time it got painted. We see there some scratches. It got a primer paint, a brownish color, and then black on top of it. So muzzle wise, really nice. The barrel inside looks like new. The chamber is smooth. We have a painted over front side, not broken off but a bit damaged. That needs to be replaced, or at least painted, or the paint removed, so that that has a goldish color. We see of course a bit paint that did flake off by the metal parts. The usual long style magazine tube for 7 rounds in this case. Then we have the corn cob style original wood, a bit I would say a middle class wood, just nothing fancy, and then machined and stained, and with a clear lacquer on it. We have a little bit damage on that here. Maybe the gun did fall over at a certain point. Then we have the usual wear on the magazine tube and the bars from pumping. Then of course the bolt part here is just raw metal. They did not put a finish on it, so there was a bit rust. Not much, but you can see it. That still needs a bit work to remove that rust. That is easy. We see here where he painted it, he got a bit a schmutzy, and the fingerprint, that is how that is. On the other side the same. He was not the best with paint, but it got protected pretty good. We see also that he did not remove the stock, he just taped it off. We have the typical corner design of the wood, of the stock design that we have by those Winchester, and he simply taped it off like here. And we have there still a bit paint that needs to be removed. On this side I did already remove it, so the stock was quite likely never removed after the factory put it on. We have here the lifter part, blued steel design with a bit of rust as well. That I still need to fix that up. The follower inside is like brand new, like the magazine tube and all that. I did already look into it. Now the follower was somehow bended a bit more outwards. It did stick out here for whatever reason. I don't know how the heck that could have happened, but it did, and needed of rebending and readjusting, because that was a bit out of whack. The bolt release was a bit bad working as well. That had more friction, so as that was adjusted and this got oiled, it did work out like it should be by original from the factory. So for whatever reason that part here is not well heat treated by this design. I would think we have way more problem to rebend it in shape. That would be like by Remington 870, we would have had way more trouble, but this one was rather soft. So, and if you do that, you need to be aware of that this part is critical for function. So you need to check that the function works, that the item can load and cycle the shells. Anyway, inside was all well and clean, not much lubricated, not having old grease or anything at all. We have to see that gun from 1981 is now pretty old. That is how that is, so we can't expect to have a brand new item here. Then the stock, we have a bit of damage there, here, and typical down here. That corner is also a typical damage point that you can get. The other side is pretty good. Then we have the butt pad. It's a Winchester original butt pad, rubber, and the rubber can get dry and crumble off. This one is in amazingly good shape. It's still soft, it's still flexible, it's not gonna crumble, at least not for now. So That is amazing how well that is for the age. We see there a bit paint that is still on now. I don't know what the heck some people do, but I saw that by quite many used guns here in USA, that they had speckles of white or brown paint on it. So apparently, as they remodel the house, they don't put the gun too far away so that is still within reach of the paint dripping or sprinkle off of the paintbrush as they paint the wall. This one had quite some sprinkles on it as well. Those are easy to remove usually, so not much of a problem at all. It's just a bit, yeah, in USA firearms are way more common than in Europe. In Europe, if you have a gun, you take care of it like a precious item. In USA, sometimes it's just for using, and if it's done, you get another one. So yeah, in Europe I never saw any paint sprinkles on any gun, but in USA I see that quite often. That is how that is. It's just part of the deal as you buy a firearm used. Now here in Georgia, firearms are common. We have a good law that should be like that. So private sales are legal and easy to do. What you basically need is a Georgia driver's license so that the people see you are actually from Georgia. Despite maybe a bit foreign accent, that you still show that you are of age. And then of course the CCW, the concealed carry weapon permit, would help a lot too, because then the seller see that you got checked through the system and that you are legally allowed to buy firearms. Because let's face it, we of course have criminals trying to illegally buy private sale firearms as well. So it's important to show the CCW as well, so that it is clear everything is legal and all that. A long time ago, I met a policeman that did sell a gun privately, and we talked a bit about how the situation is. I was in law enforcement in police over in Europe for a while, and I'm still interested how the crime is and how we can prevent the worst and all that. So he told me that as he listed that particular gun on the web, he had minimum a couple of people contacting him that he personally knew from the area that those could not legally possess firearms. So that was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm sure it's still going on and all that. So if you sell a gun as a private sale, make sure that you know that the people actually are legally allowed to own firearms, because what we sure don't need is criminals with firearms. That is all negative. So yeah, instead of buying a new, say, Mossberg 500 retro grade for $700-ish dollars, or how much it ever will be, which for sure is a great gun. I did spend my $200 on a original, authentic 1981 Winchester 1200 3-inch Magnum Defender in a used condition. It's gonna get a bit more reworked after the blade show. It of course is already test fired. It works really well. The unique aspect about the Winchester system as you use it is the rotating bolt, which has some features by itself in it, so that you can pump relative fast. I would say the fastest of all the pump action systems out there. It's maybe not that much of a difference, but you sure feel it once you handle a Winchester 1200 or 1300 or a clone that is new made with that bolt system. You feel it, that you can pump that item faster, a little bit faster than regular ones. So I like that a lot, and for me it's a bit sentimental as well. Back then, as I for years did go at the EVA Winchester, did exhibit at that European shot show exhibition there, and I couldn't buy one of those the whole time, and later on, as I finally could emigrate to USA, I could get basically any firearm that I want, and that is one of them that I like. And even as it is used a bit, that doesn't matter, it's still plenty of life left, and we can fix up the damages, and we have a nice retrograde shotgun. So that much about the Winchester 1200 used deal.